Hi guys, so most of you would have already seen my crap box. My crap box is so full now that I can't even dig about in it because everything is just falling out. This is just all stupid little scraps of, look, a leaf off a box. It's just crazy. Look at this. All these stupid little scraps of paper. I don't even know what's in here. I can't even shuffle around. It's just any little bits of coffee dyed paper. That's off a little golden book. Little strips. Piece of, I don't know. What was this? Looks like it was off a book. Little bits of painty paper down the bottom somewhere. I don't know. Bits of washi tape that I've pulled off Happy Mails. Anyway, it's my crap box. Usually once I finish doing something, I clean my desk and all the little papers just go in there. And I use them for collaging or little embellishments or I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so today I've been making some, actually I made a whole bunch a few days ago, but I've popped them into a Happy Mail to someone. But I bought a little mushroom stamp and I've gone crazy. I've been mushroom stamping everything. It's like crazy. I should never ever have bought that stamp because I'm out of control. Anyway, so all I've done is I took some of the bigger pieces of paper out of my crap box and oh, actually that's quite a nice bit of wallpaper. That shouldn't even be in my crap box. Anyway, I've taken out some of the coffee dyed paper out of my crap box, and these are all just little pieces, mind you, and I stamped them with a mushroom stamp and I've just inked around them just with some vintage photo ink, and I'm just layering up scraps of paper and a little bit of ugly brown fabric out of my scrap fabric box. Oop, this guy forgot to ink. And I'm also, then I'm just sewing them together, and I'm also including little, you know, on your desk you end up with all these, well I do, I don't know if others do, but I end up with all these stupid little bits. There's little bits, little piles of fabric everywhere, but there's also these little scraps, like a little piece of lace, upholstery fabric, bit of this one was actually a little Hessian gift bag that I cut up. Yeah, look, bit of tulle, bits of fabric. Anyway, so little piece of doily. So the little bits that are kind of brownish and kind of go with mushrooms, I've just been sewing them on as well. So I'll show you what I've done so far. This is just, most of them are like they're kind of similar, very similar. So book page, this one I forgot to ink it. Book page, this brown paper is actually, you know when I use food packaging for collage cards and I pull the shiny layer off? That's some of that. This was some brown acrylic paint on paper from ages ago, and a bit of fabric on this one. This one's book page. Some of the brown painty paper, fabric, bit of doily. They're all kind of similar. This one's got a bit of page out of a math book. This one you can see a bit of notebook page. This one has a bit of lined page. Anyway, I don't glue them anything. I just layer them up and then I just quickly stitch around the messy. The original one I did 2 lines of messy stitching. But yeah, I think I just prefer one. Because a lot of them, there's not much room for 2. Anyway, so I thought I would make a couple more, and I mean, it's very easy, but at the moment my hand is in a brace, so I can't really do much. Not that I've been wearing my brace once my camera goes on, but anyway. So these are a few. I just stamped like a whole bunch of little scrap papers, ripped them up, inked the edges. And I kind of do them like a little production line. I don't sew them as I go, I just clip them. And that way you can just do a whole bunch, like I was sitting on the lounge doing this. Because, you know, I have to sit with my stupid foot up, which is in a moon boot. Don't ask me why. They're both unrelated injuries. Anyway, so... And then I just pick some crap out of my crap box. But because these are kind of all similar, I tend to pick out like 1 or 2 papers, and then I just make all of them with that paper just to completely use it up. So this was I don't know, notebook with someone doing maths in it. I don't know if it was my daughter's old school book or something, but... And this is some brown, these ones have brown paper bag, but I ran out of that, so I did find in my crap box some brown packaging paper, and it feels really nice. It's like, almost feels like handmade paper. I think it's similar to that, you know, the formed cardboard that they use for egg cartons and stuff. It's like that, but paper. So nice. Anyway, so all I've been doing, I had some whole book pages for some reason in my crap box. I'm not sure why. I must have just cleaned my desk one day and just chucked the whole thing in there. So I've just been ripping up some paper. Look, this is probably going to be really boring for you because, yeah, it's super easy, but that's all I can kind of do at the moment. I did actually make some little flowers as well, which I'll show later, but I had to stop because, you know, holding the button and the flower together and pushing the needle through was kind of killing my wrists. So anyway, I just do that. Just ink. I've been inking only the top and bottom layer, nothing in between. This paper is it's quite old and brittle. And if you're wondering what on earth will I do with these little guys, I'll just chuck them aside in a little basket. I've got these little, where are they? Little red baskets I've shown before. These. I've got a whole bunch of these Coles Little Shop baskets. Look, I've got threads everywhere. If you're in Australia, you probably know Coles Little Shop. At the end of the promotion, they had these, like, I don't know, they were like 50 cents each or something. So I just bought a whole bunch of them because I find them really good for projects that I'm kind of in the middle of. So I have these on my shelf, all these little red baskets lined up. Let me move these guys out of the way. Yeah, so I was thinking, this paper's quite thin and brittle, so... But it'll be fine once you glue it onto something. So I don't know, maybe I'll make some little handmade envelopes out of used envelopes. Maybe coffee dye them and Do I have one here? Actually, I do have a bunch that I cut. These are security envelopes that I've cut. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll coffee dye these or something, and I don't know. Or maybe not these. Maybe I'll cut some a different size so that they can, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, I just want to use some scraps out of my scrap box because it is completely out of control. Like, totally out of control. Anyway, so I just put some book page, whatever paper. Don't overthink it. Like, just grab whatever's in your scrap box. I'm just going to use up this paper. I'll use a layer of this until it's gone. I'll put a bit of this. Oh, I kind of like the matte side out. I'm just putting some white in there because there's so much brown. I think it just breaks it up a little. See, this guy now, he goes back in and he goes on one of my little crap collage tags or pockets or whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, those little crap collage cards, I'll put the link to the video down below so you know what I mean. This fabric, it was an old ugly skirt of my grandmother's. Actually, no, it was a dress, but it did have gorgeous old brown buttons on it. Anyway, so I thought, I've had it aside for a while and I thought brown, I don't know, I was just going to use it in layering or something, but I thought it kind of goes with the mushrooms. These little dots on here, they're actually raised, so it feels like braille. It's really bumpy. Anyway, look, imagine a dress. A whole dress in this fabric. There's another one, I think I've got a blue or green or something like that she had as well. So, oh, and there was also this really ugly old cardigan that she had that was brown. It was just a cardigan, all this colour with brown buttons down the front. You know, grandma clothes. Anyway, so I've been cutting that up, and my grandmother's passed away now, but she was very frugal, so I know she will be very happy that I'm reusing all of this. Anyway, I've just put a bit of fabric. What else does this guy need? I might leave him at that. And then I actually see if there's anything else like I can tuck in just to get just to get rid of it off my desk. You know, like bits of fabric or something. They're all so itty bitty. Okay, let me, maybe if I tuck this guy under. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get them all to peep out. Yeah, I might just stick him there. So I don't overthink it. Just chuck it down and sew that baby together. And I've just been putting a little clip on it. And piling them up, and then I just sew them all together in one hit. But you know, it doesn't matter how many scraps I've used out of my scrap box, it just won't go down. Actually, there's a channel that I've been watching. Her name is Emma. Her channel is Starving Emma. I'm not sure why. Emma, if you're watching, please tell me why you're starving. I don't know if it's a play on, like, you know, a starving artist or something. But I love her channel. I think I found it through Rayleigh's channel. Rayleigh's Crafts from the Dungeon. I'm going to put a link to them down below. But I watched one of her videos, and then I was like so addicted, and then I just sat there watching her all day, and I just love her style. She's a recycler as well, and she's really funny to listen to. Even her live, she had a few lives that were like 1 and 2 hours long, and I just, you know, because I'm sitting on the lounge with my foot up most of the day, I just sat there making little flowers and watching Starving Emma's channel. And anyway, she's got scraps, but hers are more organized than mine and a lot prettier than mine. But she's got little bags of scraps, things she's cut out of magazines and everything. And with her scraps, painty papers and all that, she made these little, I can't remember what she called them, little tearaways or something. You know, I've kind of made something similar, but they were more little junky notepads that I made. But she made them as tearaways with the idea she would layer all these little scraps and just staple the top and cover it with some fabric, just so that you pop it into your journal, and as you're embellishing, you just rip a layer off, and the layers have pictures, painty papers, stickers, book page, all that sort of stuff. And so I'm thinking I might make some of those to get rid of some of my scraps. I really like these scrappy bits left on. This is from the edge, you know, where it's got like a coil, a coiled notepad or whatever they're called. I'm so glad to be using up this ugly skirt. It's been on my fabric shelf for so long. I really want to get rid of it. I need something on the other side of this. This one I probably made too wide. Maybe I'll put this guy. This little handful of crap has seriously, like, sitting on my desk for so long. It's all building up. I need to get rid of stuff. I need to stop keeping every little piece of crap. I can't help myself though. No, he's not peeping out enough. See, I didn't even know what this was off. It's a bit of string. I've no idea what it's from. Okay, let's stick that baby in there. That'll do. See, isn't that cute? I know some of you are probably thinking, what the hell is she doing? I need some bigger clips. I still haven't brought all my stuff down from my old craft room. Actually, most of it's down now, but still in boxes. I haven't unpacked it. See, I can't even clip that. Oh! I think I need this guy. Yeah, so things like pens and clips and paper clips and all that, they're all still upstairs. Okay. Let me make one more. So yeah, I would love to see everyone else's scrap box. Nat Williams showed me hers. But Nat, you were so organized. I was very impressed at how all of your scraps are organized. Mine, I've just got one big junk box. I really want to, actually maybe at the end of the video, I should pull the top layer out and see what's hiding on the bottom, because I haven't managed to get to the bottom in ages, because every time I try and dig about, it's just so full. Everything falls out. See, this guy, he will go in my little recycle bin because he's white, and what am I going to do with him? I don't like this guy's little nugget hanging out there. really can't wait to get my wrist right. Actually, some of this stuff in here shouldn't even be in here, like this. This was in a novel I was actually reading, and I didn't finish it because it was boring me to tears. But this was the front page, and someone had given Suzanne this book as a gift. And look, the page is so old and yellowed and disgusting, and it's got writing, and I thought, oh, that'll be good to rip up and use in a collage. So it was on my desk, but you know, I cleaned my desk and chucked it in there. I have a separate collage box that I put papers that I want to use in collages, but quite often things end up in my crap box just because I'm like, I've had enough, I'm cleaning my desk. Oops. And then I just chuck everything in there. But you probably notice a lot of my my projects are really easy and involve scraps. Oh wait, I want to ink this bottom layer. The bad thing is, once you start using scraps, then you just can't chuck one thing away. Like half of these stupid little papers should be in my recycle bin. I want to make some more crap box collage envelopes as well. I think they turned out cute. Here, let me show you. I think I showed them in some other video. I don't know which one. So you may not have seen them. But these are some of my little crap box collage cards. It's just food packaging cardboard. All stupid little random bits. Even little cardboard bits like this. I don't know. Belly band maybe. You know, if I get a parcel, I rip off the postage labels. This is the customs declaration. This was a little thank you note someone had put in an order or something. Anyway, that's actually off an envelope. But yeah, I did start to make some. These were actually for a Happy Mail. I made a bunch that I included in a Happy Mail, and I just kept one for myself. So these were used security envelopes, which my husband brings home from work after they open the mail. See, it's just a security envelope. And just collaged on them. But I love how they've turned out. This was another one, security envelope. Just stick that junk down. Hear that clunking? That's my stupid big moon boot. Anyway, what do I need on here? A bit of this. I actually remember my grandmother wearing this this dress. It's so ugly. But I really love ugly fabric. I know that sounds weird, but I love ugly fabric. Want to use up some of this. Oh. Look, why would I keep this? Please, somebody tell me why. Let's shove that baby there. I want something else in there. This was some upholstery fabric that I used. I made some little mini Christmas ornament journals that never made it into my Etsy shop because I didn't get them finished on time. I started in September, but then didn't get them finished on time. Actually, I think this needs to go under the white. Yeah, I've chucked them aside for next year. Do you want to see what one looks like? Let me show you one. Actually, I'll show you two. This was one. Isn't it cute? These were made out of little medicine boxes that my dad gave me. This one actually was my first one. He only had 2 signatures, but I'm going to put another one in. You can see the stitching on this was wonky with my hand. Little beads, charms. This was actually a Christmas ornament that had this design on both sides, so I've just pulled it apart and taken out the sponge on the middle. So my idea was, see, this one's got 3 little signatures. My idea was to have a bunch of little journals. Each year you just hang one on your Christmas tree. So this could be like 2020. And then whoever comes over Christmas Day or the whole Christmas holiday period, get them to write a little note in there, and then you can each year you have a little journal that you can look back on who was there that Christmas period and what they wrote, and you know, I don't know, that was my idea. But how you use it would be up to you. But anyway, yeah, I started in September. I didn't get them finished on time, so I've just thrown them aside. I'll stick them in my Etsy shop next year. Can't really see that, but I'll leave it in there just to get rid of it. I feel like this guy needs something. I don't want that or that. Maybe that long piece. Ooh, there's some gold. See this? Why would I keep that? I don't know. I feel like I've got a really bad recycling obsession. Okay, he's just going to go there. Need a clip. Okay, and I'm just going to move you to the sewing machine and let's sew these babies. Okay, I hope you can see okay. My sewing machine is right next to my craft mat, but the camera angle, you can't see what I'm doing. I've just got some brown thread in the top and the bobbin. And I'm just going to sew these babies. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could just glue the layers, a little dab of glue, you know, in the center of each bit, or staple them. You could probably staple all of those together and then just glue the top layer down so you don't see the staple. Now, I usually sew left-footed, so at the moment I can't do that because my foot is my left foot is in a moon boot. So kind of... I can't sew right-footed. You see, like, I go really slow and then I just floor it all of a sudden. Now, I'll just show you. I just go around once, quite messy, and I leave the strings attached just to make them look a bit more grungy. Can you see that? I don't know if that's focusing. I can't see what's on my screen from here. But yeah, I don't cut each one. I'll show you what I do. I don't cut the thread each time. I just pull it a little and leave it attached. And you just do a whole chain of them. That way you don't have to keep cutting your thread and starting again. Just cut them at the end. Look, you probably can't see. My hand's probably in the way. See that sound my sewing machine's making? What is that? Does anyone know? I don't know. It's making a really angry buzzing sound. Oops, this one I've buckled a little. Snip these babies. My poor little sewing machine, honestly, I have like tortured it over the years. The things I have sewn on it. Plastic and you name it. Plastic, paper, cardboard, egg cartons. Okay. Now let me just pop you back up. Is that all of it? Yeah, I didn't do too many. Let me just pop you back up the top and show you the finished. Okay. So usually when I sew stuff, I do like 10, 20, 30 at one hit, and then I just have this whole chain of little things like this joined together, and then at the very end I just snip them all. Now all of these little scraps, they go back into my crap box. I know, it's sad, but I'll use them for something else. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so this is one of them. You don't need to sew down every little bit, like if they're loose a bit, as long as a part of each paper and fabric is sewn to hold it together. So that's one. I just think they're like, I don't know, there's something about little scraps let me pick them all up together because my camera's probably focusing, unfocusing. There's something about little scraps of paper and fabric sewn together that just really appeals to me. I love them. And look how grungy they look. And you don't need to use a mushroom stamp. Just use any stamp and just put, I don't know, maybe the colour fabric to match whatever the stamp is. Aren't they so cute? Like, they're all different but the same, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I just love that you can get rid of book pages, scraps of fabric, you know, bits of thread and stuff like that. Actually, I really like the ones with threads hanging out. Might do some more of those. Oop, that guy needs to ink the bottom page. See, won't they look cute? You can put them on a journal page just as is, or put them on envelopes or tags or whatever. Actually, I think if you did some bigger ones, because the stamps I've got, I've only been using that little baby mushroom one, but some of the stamps are bigger. You could even make some bigger layers, if you know what I mean, and use them on the front of a journal even. Anyway, that's it. They're my little grungy mushroomy stamps, embellishments. And actually, I'm just going to put something together and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was going to end the video there, but then I had a quick thought. Whenever I make scrappy things, people always ask, or they say they would like to make some themselves, but they don't have the same scraps. So what I thought I would quickly do is I put together 2 little packs of scraps. And I know that sounds really weird, but if you want them to have the same kind of look and feel, you can use whatever scraps. But since a couple of people always, you know, comment on that, I thought I'll just put together 2 little packs and I'll pop them into my Etsy super cheap. It'll really only be just covering postage and Etsy fees. So it's not like I'm selling them, it's just postage and Etsy fees really. And then you can make some of your own little mushroom scraps. And actually that might help you if you're someone who has problems collaging or making little clusters or something. Maybe that'll help you get you on your way, if you know what I mean. So what I quickly did, I've only made 2 packs, and so this is one of them. I've just stamped some heavy coffee dyed paper, so you can rip around it, ink them if you want, sew them if you want. And there's 12 little stamps there, and I've put some of the things that I used in mine and a few extra things that you can play with. Use them in these mushroom embellishments or use them for something else. So this is just some heavy coffee dyed paper. This is the same coffee dyed paper that's already in my Etsy shop. And just some packing paper, because I've used, some of them have brown, actually some were brown packing paper and some I used, you can always also use something like, you know, a takeaway food bag, one that isn't greasy. I've just put a bunch of book pages. I don't know how many there's maybe 10, and these are the old yellowed ones. These are some of the pages that I used in mine. They were just pages that someone's done some maths on. Old lined paper. When I used mine, I used it this side up, this side down. But you can have the writing showing. It adds a bit of interest. This is just some of that old maths paper that I also used. I only had 1 sheet of this. You know, when you pull a book apart, there's always a few blank end pages. and I always keep those. And I only had one brown page, but it was bigger, so I've just cut it in half so both packs can have some bit of brown in there as well, because I do like the look of the ones where I had some painted brown acrylic paper. I think it looks nice with a darker shade there. And I didn't have much of this left, so just put a little piece of that ugly brown dress and some of that brown skirt. So the hems and everything's still on. I haven't cut them neatly. I've just chopped because I've only had excuse me, I've only had a few small scraps left, so I've just kind of cut them in half to make 2 packs. This is a little bit of brown suede or velvet, I'm not sure, but I can't touch suede or velvet. I hate the feel of that and cotton balls. But you don't need a lot for each little embellishment. Like, you only need a tiny little piece, so one little piece will go a fair way. Got a bit of Hessian sack. This is actually from a big old coffee sack that I had, and I thought these would look cute as well. These are some embroidery fabric samples. I've got threads everywhere. This particular sample book, they come in the size of this book is like that, but I thought, instead of one person, because I made 2 packs, instead of one person getting one whole sheet of this and the other getting a whole sheet of that, I've cut them in half so that you get a bit of both, if you know what I mean. So this one I really love. This one is so mushroomy. And this one I think would look good in the layers. And this is the same pattern as that, except lighter brown. This one reminds me of, you know, the old Lee's clubs and RSLs? They used to have that really old, ugly carpet. It reminds me of that. Feels like it too. I thought this would look nice. I've got some grungy dyed little doilies, and I thought ripping off little pieces of that, peeking out the sides, would be nice. Oh, I didn't have much of this left either. This is just a bit of brown lace. This is really old, this lace as well. I used some little doilies in mine, and if you cut them in half, then you'll get double. I didn't use whole ones in mine, but I just peeked like a little bit, half of one out the side. But you could like put whole ones on there, or use them for something else. I just thought a few extras to play with. This stuff, this is brown nylon trim, ribbon, sorry, brown nylon ribbon. I've got a whole roll of this somewhere, but I don't know where. I haven't unpacked all my boxes yet, so I've just put a piece of that in there. I thought that would look nice in the layers as well. I don't know, I don't measure. There's probably 45-50 centimeters there. I put some of the brown twine as well, and this one's quite thick. You can pull it apart into thinner strips if you like. And I thought, I didn't put any on mine, but I thought some buttons might be nice, so I've just put a handful of little brown buttons. Both packs have the same buttons. So anyway, I know that seems like a really strange thing to put in my Etsy, but I just want it to be available for the couple of people that always ask. But I only made 2 because I don't have a lot of that fabric left, but I can make more with different fabric. But they're only scraps, and a lot of you would have these sort of scraps. These are just for the people that don't have a big variety of scraps. And there seems to be a few of you. So anyway, I'll pop this into my Etsy, and it's only postage and Etsy fees really. So I'll pop that in, and yeah, have fun making some little scrappy embellishments. And I might do more of that sort of thing if I make something, and I think it's something people might want to also sit down and maybe make some along with the video or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll pop some into my shop, because yeah, there's always someone that asks me. Anyway, that's it, and thanks for watching. Bye.